everybody. Welcome back to another episode of CMN Chats. My name is Alexa Sandler. I am a senior Pratt major, as well as a digital content assistant within the College of Communication. And I'm super excited to bring you guys a brand new episode featuring our guest, Marta Guzma.
Hello. Hi, Alexa.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing very well.
Good. Why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I am a junior at DePaul University. I'm majoring in journalism and doing a minor in Spanish and Latino media and communication. I'm as well the managing editor and co-founder of La DePaulia and the president of the National Association of Hispanic Journalists at DePaul.
Amazing. How did you choose to study journalism?
I've always known I wanted to be a journalist and pursue the career of journalism. I was born in Managua, Nicaragua. So when I came to the U.S., my family, we faced a lot of challenges, just like a lot of immigrant families face upon arriving. And I think just throughout the challenges I always felt like I didn't have a voice. But then the times that I will turn on the TV and watch the journalists and the news reporters just really tell and speak on the Latino community, I kind of saw myself in them, and I saw them just telling a piece of my story and my family within their reporting. And that's just a memory that I remember just having and just sticking with me. And ever since that time and that age, I've always knew I wanted to do the same and kind of just pave it for the next generation and tell the stories of my community.
That's super inspiring to see that and want to be a part of that, but then also in turn, once you are a part of that, to help inspire those under you to also be part of that. I think that's really incredible, story of how you got into journalism. Speaking more on your academics, specifically one of your minors, the Latino Media and Communication minor, that is a fairly new minor to my knowledge. So what sort of coursework does that entail, and sort of how does that help you to tell your story?
Yes, so it is a minor. I believe it is new, but it's a very interesting minor because in specific, it really scoped and captures the Latino community and just learning about not only Latino media, but the community in general as well. We talk about cities and racial formation in Chicago and how that came along, how all these areas in Chicago first started upon immigration of the Latino communities, so Puerto Ricans and Mexicans. So besides just being very concentrated in media as well, it's very important and rich to know the history and the knowledge and how that came about, how Latinos came to the US and how they've been here, the challenges they have faced. So just really knowing to get the history and the context behind that, besides just getting to know the media aspect of it at all.
Yeah, knowing where something has come from totally helps you to build it forward. Something that you mentioned you were involved with is La DePaulia, just celebrating its 1-year anniversary pretty recently. That's super exciting. Tell us more about what La DePaulia is.
Yeah, so La DePaulia is the first Spanish student-led publication in Chicago. It is the sister publication of the DePaulia, and La DePaulia was launched January of 2020 by Hillary Flores, myself, Isabela Grimaldo, and Jonathan Aguilar. So just 4 people. And it grew. It came out, it came out from NAHJ DePaul and when we formed. Because when me and my team met, Hillary, Jonathan, and Isabella, we all met through NAHJ and through that network. And from there, we knew that we wanted to create a space for our stories and for the Latino community, not only DePaul centered and what's going with Latinos in DePaul, but just opening it to the city of Chicago and the Latino community of Chicago. So that was the goal. We just wanted to really have a space to tell the stories of our community, and as well, just be involved in Spanish student media. We really feel like there's a gap between Spanish media and the city, and we wanted to be part of fixing that and bringing a solution, even if we're still students. We just wanted to help some way, somehow, just really inform our community.
Yeah, and even as students, you still have a great platform to share your stories, and I don't think it being a student doesn't matter. You're still doing, all that you can to share those stories, and I've read some of them and seen some of the photographs that have been published, and there's just incredible stories that you guys have written.
Yeah.
More specifically, what do you do? What's your role with La DePaulia?
Yeah, so I am the managing editor. So as a managing editor, I also focus in the news section. So I'm all about news and noticias. So from pitching stories to our writers, what's going on in our city and what's going on in our campus, how can we inform our audience, to assigning stories, to even also picking up stories and covering and just really being there, and editing stories as well. So I'm kind of like the right hand of Hillary this past year, our editor-in-chief, and just really it's been a lot of just growing our team and making sure that we set a good foundation for La DePaulia to continue not only the years that I'm in DePaul, but as well like in the years to come. We want this to grow. So it's been a lot of just setting the foundation and setting the ground, and just getting the momentum going and making sure our school knows about us, our people knows about us, just building that platform within the first year, and telling the stories that need to be told.
Speaking of telling the stories that need to be told, tough question. What is one of the favorite stories that you've read or have written for La DePaulia?
Yeah, that is a really big one. One of my top favorite from a couple of months was the Pilsen. It was on the Pilsen, the Little Village discount mall that's by Pilsen. It's in 26th Street. I got the chance to talk a lot of the vendors from the discount mall, and how the discount mall is a sense of home and culture for the community of Little Village. So it was just very great. I got to go there in person. I got to go into the stores and really talk to to the vendors of the discount mall who have been there for years, who have had their stores there for years, really just selling and bringing a sense of culture to the Little Village discount. And it was just so powerful because it just really shows how something as a mall, as a place, can bring so much culture and history to a neighborhood. And it was just very, very beautiful just to connect with the people there. And I feel like with COVID, it's just been a little bit hard, having to connect with people. So just having that opportunity of going to Little Village, of going to the discount mall, of seeing all the stores they have, of seeing the lady, that I interviewed, just really just working in her store and showing me her product, which was very special. I really got to see it from like her perspective and take it in. So that has to be one of my most favorite stories, was the discount mall and covering it in Little Village.
And that's part of the beauty of journalism, is big or small, a good story is a good story, and something, that like that is such an inspiring story, and it seems like it's something that really touched you. But shifting gears a little bit, you're the president of NAHJ. What is NAHJ and what do you guys do?
Yeah, so NAHJ is the National Association of Hispanic Journalists. So it's a national chapter, and it's provided through all of our country and Puerto Rico. And at DePaul, we just have the student chapter of NAHJ. There is an NAHJ chapter for the city of Chicago as well. And so I was part of the co-founding member of NAHJ. It's been a year also of NAHJ, and NAHJ came from Jesus J. Montero, myself, Hillary Flores, Richie Requena, and Jonathan Aguilar. So we were the founding members of NAHJ that we launched about a year ago. And the purpose and the main goal of NAHJ is just really advocating for Latino journalists. Our chapter at DePaul is really open to anybody who just wants to connect with us and work with us and network. It's a really great place to network and meet other fellow student journalists at DePaul, just to really build the bridge. And throughout NAHJ, we've had so many opportunities that's where La DePaulia was able to come from, and as well the publication with 14 that is Pueblo, Rich Ricana, that was also able to come from NAHJ DePaul. So it's just really been a great opportunity to network and meet other student journalists who have the same passion and ambitions as you and want to bring a diversity of stories into the newsrooms, into our campus. So we do a lot of public newsrooms, we do a lot of workshops just to really prepare and sculpt our members at DePaul and our NAHJ and members.
That's amazing how you guys, so many of these different publications have, grown from this one student organization. I didn't even know that that's the story behind it. So that's really incredible. I was actually going to ask you kind of how you, as a member of NHJ, you work with La DePaulia and Pueblo, like how you guys are kind of interconnected, but you kind of just answered that a little bit. But kind of more onto that, like what resources do you guys have available for students, maybe new students as well?
Yeah, so if you want to get involved with DePaul and with Spanish media and with Latinos reporting, La DePaulia and Pueblo NHJ DePaul are great resources and opportunities. We really welcome you with open arms. We really want to really advocate and talk to our incoming students, our incoming freshmen, our transfer. We are really welcoming you with open arms, and I'm not just saying that by saying that, but because we really want you guys to be a part of this for the years to come. Like I'm a junior at DePaul. I'll have just one more year left at DePaul. But after that, we want these chapters, these publications to continue after we are gone. We don't want it to be La DePaulia and Pueblo NSJ when we're at DePaul. So we really want the incoming students to grow as we did. And as Jesus J. Montero, who was the founder of NAHJ DePaul and how he has mentored me, I also want to be a mentor to the next people at DePaul who are coming after me, with the same goals and ambitions. So a big role of that is just mentoring the incoming students. Like we want to help you grow. We want to help you succeed and get you all these opportunities that we've had. So that is a really big goal of NAHJ and why we really advocate for incoming students as well.
Speaking on incoming students and, just students trying to get more involved, what is your best piece of advice for young journalists?
Definitely consistency, and hard work. You're gonna have to work very hard in this field and put yourself out there. Get out of your comfort zone. Take a risk of faith. Like really step out there, even if the odds are against you. If you really have a passion for something, follow it. I'm from Florida. That's where my family is. That's where I went to high school. But I knew that I wanted to pursue this career and become a reporter and a journalist. So I stepped out of my comfort zone and I moved to Chicago at 18 years old, right after high school, into a city because Chicago is the third biggest market. So I think a lot of the time with journalism and people who want to pursue this career is put yourself out there. Don't be afraid. Really put yourself out there and take a leap of faith. And if you fail it, well, it's not really a failure because at the end of the day, you do learn from it and you do grow as a person, and you take that step instead of just being like the what if, So I think a big part of it is just stepping out of your comfort zone and taking a risk of faith. And if you want to apply for a job that, that maybe you don't meet the qualities, just apply for it. The worst they can do is you go to the interview and they don't offer it, but you at least learn and grow from it.
That's really amazing advice. And I think journalist or not, that, anybody can take from that. Well, those are all the questions that I have for you. I want to thank you so much for being on this episode. It was lovely to have you.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's really great.
Of course. Thank you everybody for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for future episodes of CMN Chats.
Thank you so much, guys.